Russell, could we start with Millwall? I was doing my research and I thought 8th, 9th, 8th, pretty consistent in the Championship the last 3 years. And then you think, well, Gary Rowett's gone, but they're still only 6 points off the playoffs. But it's a classic Championship scenario, isn't it, where expectations change?
Yeah, I think Gary did an amazing job. I have a lot of respect and time for Gary as a person and as a manager. So I was surprised that he left. Obviously, there's been change at the club, tragic event with the owner, and I don't know if that's changed anything for Gary or whatever. You don't know, but I think quite a few people were surprised because he really has done a brilliant job in how they finished, in the identity of the team, how hard they worked, the way they recruited. Just really proven, experienced Championship team that every year have been in and amongst it, and this year watching them is no different. Like, they're fighting, they work extremely hard for each other, they have good athleticism, good size, and they're really good at what they do. And so it's never an easy game Millwall away, but maybe everyone felt it was time for a change. Maybe Gary felt it was time for a change, I don't know, but I think it's a tough act to follow there for sure.
Does the atmosphere and the intensity of the place and the fan base make it harder when you come visiting? Because you've had tough days up there and you've won there.
Yeah, I think it can be a really really good occasion. I think you have to go there and understand what the game, what it means to their supporters, the environment it's in, all of that stuff, the hostility you face when you go there. So I think you have to understand all that, and I think we've got a lot of players that have played there, some that haven't, and it's up to us to prepare them for that, but to turn the game into a game that we want it to be ultimately, wherever we go. So I think it's an interesting time to go there with Adam in charge, who's another really great guy, and they're giving everything for him, and you don't expect anything different at Millwall. Their fans give them everything as well, and make it difficult. So we have to go there with the same mentality we've had over the last 6 games, to try and turn the game into one we want it to be, to try and control as much of it as possible, to really fight and run, because you have to do that at Millwall regardless of how you play, and then hopefully the rest will take care of itself.
You've had a great 3-match week, a week on the training ground. I feel like now you would be desperate for the players to see this little period through to the next breakout without losing and keeping things momentum going.
Yeah, we spoke about 2 games, big effort until the break, and then it'll be relentless until March, until the next international break, which I actually prefer because it doesn't disrupt rhythm and you get a bit of time on the grass and all that stuff. So it's been a really good week. The players in a really good place. Been topped off nicely today by Ross Stewart playing 45 minutes for the under-21s. There's a really nice feel about it, and it's up to us to make sure it doesn't get comfortable at any point. We are trying to hunt the teams above us for sure and make sure we stay away from the ones below us, and we have a big job to do. And it's been a nice, as you said, a nice week, nice 2 3-game weeks either side of the break, but it's not enough, and we have to keep really driving. And we have a brilliant group of players who are really buying into what they're doing, really believing and taking real pride in what they're doing, and that's enjoyable to be a part of, so we have to keep that feeling going.
So Ross has come through this lunchtime 45 minutes, as far as you're aware, fine?
Yeah, I watched it, yeah.
How big a moment is that for his development and transition towards the first team?
Yeah, so first it's a huge moment for him as a person, because he's been out for a long time, and I think anyone can see how hard he's worked since he's been here. I've no doubt he had the same mentality when he was at Sunderland to try and get fit. He's had a couple of setbacks along the way, which is to be expected, I think, with such a long-term injury. So yeah, for him as a lad and a person, I'm really delighted, really pleased. And then selfishly for us as a group of coaches and the squad, it's a really brilliant moment for us, because he's going to contribute a lot. I don't think we should expect too much too soon from him. He's been out a long while. He scored today, a goal that is typical of him, runs to the box, attacks it, a great finish, and I'm sure that will get everyone, supporters and people out excited and expecting a lot. But I think we have to be patient. He's been out for a long while, but it'll be really nice to, I said to you, the hope was to get him back before this break, so hopefully now he has a good week training with us and we can include him in the squad next week.
The other bit, of course, is the added competition for places in the forward line, and as a manager, that's terrific for you. If you can come through and stay fit, that will give you great headaches, as we say.
Yeah, we have some brilliant options. We have Ryan Fraser playing so well. Will be in the team at some point very soon. The guys behind, like Shea and Armour, pushing each other. Ross will add to that. Sekou trains fantastically well. And and then the guys out wide, Camel deep, we possess a lot. You know, Charlie scored at the weekend, which he needed. I think that will really help him and do him the world of good. So yeah, we have a lot of competition, and it's a really nice problem to have. And I think the most important thing is we try and keep everyone motivated, everyone happy by giving them every bit of detail we have in training, every bit of energy we have, and then trying to get them on the pitch at some point when we feel it's the right moment. So yeah, it's only going to add to I think the healthy competition that the group has, and it will give us another dynamic for sure, another option. We have options for different games, which is really nice.
I was looking at the players who've scored, and Camaldine now needs a goal. Doesn't need it because he's playing well, but you know, he's the only one really. And I keep thinking, with now Charlie scored, you can get Camaldine in that frame of mind and that confidence. He's got assists already, but it's almost like that will be the final bit. So all the front players have got goals.
Yeah, definitely. I think we need our wide men to really contribute with that as well. So Sam Adozi has a couple. Ryan Fraser obviously scored. So I think Dino knows, Camaldine knows where we feel he can improve. I think he agrees with a lot of it. He's an outstanding talent, really brilliant guy as well, great energy, and works really hard. And I think there's bits of his game that if he really improves on, which will be scoring. He's got a few assists now, and will keep contributing with that, I'm sure, because of how much he possesses with the ball at his feet. And but if he can really start adding goals to his game, then I think, as I said to you before, like the world's his oyster really. So he needs to start being really more selfish in terms of running to goal and trying to get in the end of things. And I think he's been used to getting the ball and trying to dribble past 3 or 4 to go and score, whereas I think actually this team can help him score a lot and contribute maybe some easier goals for him. So I think once he starts becoming instinctive, he's a young man, so it hasn't been instinctive in his game yet. But I think when it does, add another dimension to his game really.
Just final question from me. You've actually won more away than at home. Do you think that's more a consequence just of the fixtures, or do you think that's the team is set up well to play away from home? Is there anything in that, or is it just
I don't
the
think
way
we changed the way we play, so
Right.
I don't think it's. I think when you have a majority of the ball away from home, it can definitely build anxiety in the away supporters, or they get a bit fed up with that. So it can change the dynamic of the game a little bit, the mentality of the opposition team. But I don't know what it would be down to really. I don't think you can ever point to one thing in football. We've had some tough games at home for sure, and in tough moments as well. Either side of the international break, Leicester and Ipswich was really difficult. So I think it's probably a bit of everything really. But I think for us, it's a real positive that we can go away from home and be the team we want to be, or at least try very, very hard to be the team we want to be dominant and be aggressive, and come out the right side of results, because we're going to need that. So it has to be the same mentality this weekend. And I think we're excited about the game. I think people are genuinely really looking forward to the games when they come now, and they're all different challenges, really, really different. And this one will be very different again to what we faced at the weekend. So yeah, I'm excited about it.
You touched on it there about Gary Rowett leaving. When a club have an interim coach, does it make it more difficult to kind of prepare for them when you've got less to work on with what they've done under the interim manager?
Well, I don't. Yeah, Adam's not changed too much. And like he's same mentality in the team to fight. He was with Gary for a long time. I know he'd definitely have a lot of respect and be well liked by their players and the staff, because it's the kind of guy he is. He's just a really good guy. They all are. Robbo and Marshy, the goalkeeping coach as well. They're good people. And so I know people will be trying so hard for them and fighting for them. So I don't know if it makes it any more difficult or any easier. I couldn't tell you that until after the game. But what I do know is I don't think it changes too much. We're going to Millwall away. They are fighting with everything they've got. They have real brilliant experience in this league, and they have a set of supporters who really with them. So it's a tough game, and Adam will be giving everything. And he's come up against us a fair few times in the last few years, so he'll have an idea of the way we play and a way to try and nullify that. And I'm sure he'll get that across very well. So it's I have nothing but respect for them. Very different to us, but I'm really good, and it'll be a good challenge for us.
Colin Calderwood's coming into the coaching staff. What can you tell us about him and what he's going to be able to add to the group?
First and foremost, he's a brilliant human being. Like I really trust him and know him very well. Worked together at Norwich many moons ago. He was the assistant manager. Used to moan all the time to him, and he had a brilliant way of being able to deal with that, and just great relationship with the players. And he's the one coach throughout my career, and you speak to manager, but like who I stayed in real constant contact with. and just discuss football. So we spoke a lot, even when he's not worked with me. And I tried at the 2 previous clubs and couldn't quite happen for various reasons. And he, whilst we haven't been together, I mean, he's been a manager, he's been an assistant manager. He's helped some young managers recently get promoted in Neil Critchley and John Brady, and added huge experience and value to them. And then he's been asked by a few others to go in, and we've spoke about it a lot over the last couple of years about the right timing and the right opportunity. And I'm really grateful to the ownership group and to Jason and Phil for supporting us and backing. I think he's going to help me. I think he's going to help Gilly. I think he's going to help Carl. I think he's going to help all of us, because he's done every job pretty much, and has lived what we're living right now literally thousands of times. So as a player and a coach, so he will add a huge amount of. He'll challenge. He will question things. He will support us. He'll give us his own experience, and all that will be huge. But also, he's just a brilliant person, and he will come in and help build relationships even more than we have, and really solidify some of the work we're doing. And yeah, I think it's a massive addition for us as a group of young coaching staff. We have a young staff, and including Carl and Andreas, who well, Andreas joined, but Carl was here already. So I think it'll only help us all, because we're really clear on what we want to do and how we do it, and the process of how we do it. But being able to touch on some of his experience and question every now and again is going to be invaluable.
Sam Ammo, Tyler Dibbling and Jayden McGovern have all been called up to the England under-17 squad for the World Cup. You've worked with all of them. How good is that going to be for them, and also how good is that for Southampton to have 3 players going?
Yeah, I think it's going to be brilliant, and they've trained us every day. So I spoke to Jason about it last week when we knew they were going to get called up, and we reserved the right to keep them if he wanted to, because they aren't around the first team. But I think it'll be massive for them to be a part of that. If you look at some of those groups over the last few years who have gone and had good success at those tournaments, and how quickly some of them players develop, I think it could be really big. So I think it's great for the club that we have 3 such talented young men that are going to go there and represent their country. I hope it's a real big success for them, and we'll be staying in touch with them. But they are all players that we are excited about and have had a taste of it already, obviously. And hopefully going away and doing this and with their country will make them even more hungry to come back and really compete and be in and around the squad and the team. So you have to be patient with young players, because it's never like a linear process of just success, and there's always bumps in the road and peaks and troughs. But hopefully this will be a real highlight for them, and a real peak in their early careers, and they go and do really well, and then come back here really infused and excited. And when we get them back, I'm sure they'll add a really nice energy back to the group.
You touched on it there, you've worked with them a lot. Is that now going to present more opportunities for some of the other players in the under-21s to step up and try and...
Yes, we train with a lot of the young guys, use the 21s a lot for the opposition. Really close relationship with them and the coaches. We know all the players very well, and they do come over a lot. So there will be 3 or 4 gaps that have come up now that people need to come over and take and seize the opportunity. And there's some really excellent players underneath them as well, and guys that have trained with us this week and played today for the 21. So yeah, there's a lot to be excited about, and I think the more they train with the first team players, those guys, the better it is for them. They can feel it and understand what it takes, and the speed of it is a little bit different to the under 21s. And I think as many players you can develop and speed up the process of learning and development, then the better for us and the better for them. Even if they end up not having a career here, you're trying to prepare them for life outside.